Hi everybody, it's March 8th, 2019. Got a little bit of a flea market find series we're going to do here. This is a buy off of Craigslist. Ended up going out to a place in Connecticut and meeting with a guy who he was a machinist at one time, and he's now gone into another career, but he had this stuff that he'd been sitting on for a while. Stuff's been in the basement for a while, so it's going to need some cleaning. You know, some of the stuff's got light rust on it, some of it's got mildew. I started to clean up some of the stuff. It seems like it's cleaning up okay. I ended up basically doing a package deal. There's almost nothing in this load that I'm going to keep for myself. I didn't really see anything that caught my eye. We'll go through it real quick. I wanted to just go through it now because I actually have a buyer coming in today who's going to look at some other stuff, and I want to make sure that this is available for him. And I also want to get this up on the Steve's Basement Facebook page for my regular buyers, and then eventually move it out into the public there for sale. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right in it. I haven't decided yet when I'm going to air this one. If this episode isn't very long, I might hold it back because I have two items that I purchased on eBay that are coming in, and I wanted to share those with you. And those two items alone aren't really enough for an episode. So they'll either be tacked on to the end of this, and this will air later in the month, or they will, those two eBay items will either go with an odds and ends video, odds and sods video. I don't do odds and ends, that's right. That's somebody else's channel. Do an odds and sods video, or who knows, maybe something else will come in between now and when those items come in. They're not due. One of them not due until the 14th. So I'm sorry, 18th. So it's going to be like another week. It's coming slow boat from China apparently, but it's not coming from China. These are domestic packages. So what we're looking at is this box of stuff right here, this, and this little box of doodads right here is, I bought it all one money. I'm into it for a little more than I'd like to be. The only way to buy this and buy it even close to right was to just make an offer on the whole lot. The original Craigslist ad, if we went on the prices based on there, this would be a non-starter. But I had a pleasant phone conversation before I went out and explained that everything in this lot is stuff that I already have. Probably not going to keep any of it for myself, as I said, so it's going to be resale. And we discussed the price that he was happy with, and I still felt that there was a little bit of meat on the bone, so to speak, so that we can get these out there and maybe help somebody else down the road. So there's some freebies thrown in here too, but I mean, they're literally exactly worth about that. It was funny. He wanted a little bit more money than my offer, and I ended up coming up $10 more for the contents of this box, which he had already said he was going to throw in for free. But I said, well, I'll tell you what, since you're giving me this, I'll give you another 10, and that was what sealed the deal. So as far as I know, everything in here I paid $10 for, which we'll get to in a moment. Let's start with probably the best thing in this entire buy, and that's going to be this Brown Sharpe set. This is a Brown Sharpe depth mic. Okay, so this is I believe it's a 0 to 12 inch. We've got one rod in here, so that's going to be the 0 to 1.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, so this is a 0 to 12 inch set, which is nice. A lot of these are, I think, 0 to 9s, so that makes this a little bit better set. Probably have an unused, yeah, we got an unused, by the looks of it, pair of micrometer wrenches sitting here. All right, micrometer itself is in excellent condition, really nice and clean. The rods do have a little bit of surface rust in areas, mostly at the heads here. The rods themselves are actually pretty good. I think I did notice on maybe some of the larger ones, just a couple little spots here and there. So I have to decide whether or not I'm going to keep this one for myself or not. I already have a 0 to 12 Brown & Sharpe set. What's interesting to me about this one is it's Brown and Sharpe, but unlike my other Brown and Sharpes or the other Brown and Sharpes that I've seen, there's no model number on the micrometer, and where the micrometer is marked right here, Brown and Sharpe, it's marked Made in England. So I don't think I've ever seen a Brown and Sharpe micrometer marked Made in England. So this is kind of interesting. Well, that's already looking 300% better than it did. So a little while back, I sold off all of my extra depth gauges except for what's right here. So these are the ones that I kept. And of course, this is the new acquisition today. So, somebody might ask, well, why do you keep so many depth gauges? Well, this set right here is a set with flat blades. So instead of rods, it's got these flat blades. Then I had this one here. This is either a Brown and Sharpe or a Starrett. You can see at some point this had quite a bit of rust on it that was cleaned off and it left some staining. But it's actually still a nice depth micrometer. It's got one flat blade in it, and this was just loose. It wasn't part of a set. This is how I got this. Probably picked this for next to nothing. Decided to keep it because it's a wider shoe, and the blades that are in this set, which are on the top here, actually will fit this. And since I wouldn't get much money for this on its own anyways, because it's not part of a full set, I just keep it with that. Then I have this micrometer set. This is I think this is a 0 to 6. Probably easy to just look. This is a Mitutoyo set. This is a very nice clean set.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is a 0 to 6 inch set. So I keep the 0 to 6 inch set because it's a very nice, good quality Mitutoyo in excellent condition. And then I got rid of all my other sets because I acquired this last year, this Brown and Sharpe set. Well, I forgot to charge the batteries for that camera last night, so we're back to the GoPro with that damaged area on the lens there, so I apologize for the video quality. Hopefully I'll be able to match up the sound pretty decent. Anyways, so this is the 0 to 12 that I picked up about a year ago, and I was happy to get this because I didn't have any 0 to 12 depth mics at that time, I don't believe. But this one's clearly marked that it's a model 608, and I think, yeah, this one is marked right on here, Providence, Brown and Sharpe Manufacturing Company, Providence, Rhode Island, USA. All right, it's a very early case, so that would indicate to me that this may very well have actually been made right in Providence, Rhode Island. It's got a different, unique design. The head parts here are a lot bigger, and it does look like maybe the rods are thicker too. We'll check that in a second. So the question is, do I keep this one and sell this one? Yeah. If this is going to focus. What we're trying to do is see that the rod size is different. So this is it's a beefier set of rods in this one. Yeah, it's interesting to me. This is a 0 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is not a 0 to 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 0 to 9.
Well, that just makes decisions that much harder. I was already set on keeping this one because it has the heavier rods in it, and it's got the click stop, which I kind of like. But this is a more versatile set. Well, I could keep both. But then the problem is I'm tying up the majority of the money I spent for this lot is going to be tied up in here, and I don't think I'm going to make enough profit on the rest of the stuff in here to warrant keeping this for myself. Oh, that's a conundrum. Well, I'll figure it out. Maybe you guys have some opinions. What to keep, what to send down the road. Some of you guys are probably thinking, why the heck are you keeping the Mitutoyo over Brown & Sharpe's? It's like, well, like I said, it's the Mitutoyo is a more modern set. Yeah. Blow through this box real quick. So what we've got here is a Starrett S167CHZ radius gauge set. I've got one of these now, and I've had a few of these. Last one of these I sold did not have the holder rod right here, so this is actually a plus that it's got the holder rod. The negative is that the plastic is cracked right here. This plastic gets brittle with age, and it breaks at the hinge point. It's not uncommon. And the other problem this has is it appears to be a full set. However, this 1/8 inch gauge right here is a second 1/4 inch gauge. For some reason, somebody had 2 quarters in this set, and it's missing the 1/8 gauge. These were all mixed up, and I put them all back in their correct position. And I also cleaned this case. It was much filthier than this. Actually cleaned up pretty well. But that's unfortunate that it's just missing the 1/8 inch radius. And it's kind of funny. I wonder if that's common, because I think I just saw one listed on eBay that had the same problem. It was missing the same one. Or no, it might have been a listing on Facebook. Somebody was selling one of these. So this is obviously going to be a sale, because I have one complete set already, and I know that the one I kept is in better condition than this one just because of the case issue, nothing else. And it's a complete set, not missing the 1/8 inch. So that's going to be on the market. Here's one of the items I got him to, well, I didn't really get, he offered to throw this in. He basically said that he believed this was a piece of junk. He said it was back in the day, he bought this because he thought it was so nifty to have, and then at some point it stopped working, and so then he just kind of shelved it. And so it was gonna, he didn't care, it didn't make a difference on the deal, so I decided to take it. And actually, this is not the one I'm thinking of. Oh, all right. Well, I might as well show you this while I've got it. This was not the freebie. This was part of one of the ones I had to pay for. This is part of the one of the things that when I initially saw the ad, I was intrigued and thought, well, that'll be great. I'll go there, and that'll be one of the things I'll be able to resell, because I've had these in the past and they've always sold well. And this is a Brown & Sharpe 6-inch dial caliper. This particular Brown & Sharpe 6-inch dial caliper has a couple of issues. One is it's filthy. Well, that actually cleaned up pretty decent. But it's going to need a little help, because it's interesting. It returns to 0 every time, but there is something crunchy in there. So there's probably some crap on the rack. So if we disassemble this and clean it, I think it'll be okay. See, it's hanging. So we'll have to find out. See, now it didn't return to 0 that time, so it's jumping. I hope it's not damaged teeth on the rack. It appears somebody already had this apart too, because the little bar that's supposed to go across here is missing. And I believe that little bar is what keeps you from being able to just pull this all the way off. It actually seems... So we'll take a look at that. I don't know if we'll sell that as is, or if we'll take a little time to try and clean it up and fix it up. Here's the freebie. Case is filthy. Still got the paperwork in there. What this is this is an early Brown & Sharpe branded Digit Cal Plus. It's a 599 571-3 digital caliper. This probably would have been big money when it was new. Now
it looks like heck. And again, it might clean up, but I don't even know if it's going to be worth doing anything with. This almost looks like it came out of an automotive machine shop or something. It's just, not to pick on the automotive guys, but it's just awfully filthy for a machine shop. But that doesn't come on or anything, but that's been sitting for years, so who the heck knows. And even if I put a battery in it, it's probably not going to work, because like you said, there was a problem with it. Also got this pair of Mitutoyo 6-inch, Mitutoyo 6-inch dial calipers that actually work really nice. They're nice and smooth, but there is no crystal, no plastic lens on here. This is wide open. So that is going to need that replaced. I can't imagine that those are very expensive. Last pair of these I had were actually metric ones. These are not metric. And the metric ones actually brought pretty decent money because they were metric. Here's a vernier caliper with no case, which initially didn't think much of it. And, he said he didn't think it was worth much because he said that somebody in his family, I think, used it. And he believed that this was a specialty item, specially modified or something, because notice the jaw. Okay? Very strange what they did here. But this didn't really make much difference in the value of the whole lot anyway, so I took it. And here's the thing. It's actually marked right over here. It's made in Switzerland. This is an Etalon, or Etalon, E-T-A-L-O-N. This is actually a very good company. They make really good micrometers. So this is actually a precision instrument. Boy, I'll tell you, whoever did this work to this, to shorten this jaw the way they did a very good job. If it wasn't for the fact that this jaw was left long, and that right there was writing that was removed in the grinding process, this almost looks like it was made this way at the factory. This would have looked like it was made this way at the factory, but the dead giveaway is that, at least to me, I think, is that it said something there. So, who the heck knows why that was made the way it was made? I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of call for that, but hey, we'll run it up the flagpole and see what happens. This is a box for a 5C step color, but that's not what's in here. What's in here is actually this shank. So this basically is going to be for slitting saws or things like that, of that nature. There's actually a couple of different washers on here, spacers. No idea who makes this. This is actually a pretty good quality piece. The way I know that is because it's actually marked Poland on here, and a lot of this stuff that comes out of Poland is good quality stuff. So if I don't already have one of these, I'll probably end up selling this. If you're watching this and you want this, please don't ask for it, because I haven't made a decision on a lot of that tooling yet. I got to go through. It might be a situation where I even want to keep this, so I might want to just keep a slitting saw on this all the time, so it's at the ready and I don't have to swap out. Because I also have some narrow cutters that could fit on these, possibly. Well, look at that nice effect they did there. Huh. Well, so I guess I kind of fibbed at the beginning, when I said that a lot of this stuff, pretty much most of this stuff I wasn't going to keep, or all of this stuff I was going to sell. Turns out that maybe I'm going to end up keeping that. The depth micrometer set is now into question. Sold a few of these. Matter of fact, I just shipped out one to one of my regular customers, Bill. Sold him some stuff about a week ago, and as soon as he got that stuff, he went shopping again and found another item he wanted, which was the SPI version of one of these, which was like in mint condition. So Bill had me send him that out today. And now I've got yet another one. So every time I'm just about sold out, another one pops up. This is a 1 7/8 inch one. And what's nice about this one, even though it's got some heavy wear on it here, is this is a genuine Indicall. Indicall's the company that originally came out with this. So a lot of times you'll see these branded, aftermarket import cheaper versions of these, and they'll still be loosely referred to as Indicals, but only the ones marked or made by the company are true Indicals. This is an Indicol 178, actually says so right there. And the 178 model means that this is to fit a 1 7/8 inch spindle, which is the standard on my Wells Index and also on the J-head Bridgeports, I believe. But anyways, so it's complete, and it's a genuine Indicol, and it is going to be on the market soon. This next little grouping of items, nothing to get too excited about. Let's start with the edge finders. All of these edge finders are unmarked. That one's got some surface rust on it. It is a double-ended one, though, and it is free, so it is still working, probably usable. A little bit of cleaning, and that's usable. Here's one, only one end. And, all right, so we got two like this and one of these. And I'm all set on those, so those will all be offered for sale. Those are good. You know, nobody wants to pay shipping on something like that, but if you're already buying some other stuff, a few bucks, throw one of those in. Just sold off all of my extra ones of these. This is a quick clamp-on depth stop for your quill depth on your milling machine. Just for those of you who've never seen one, this is the depth stop right here on my mill, okay, and it can be set. But sometimes there's situations where you want to be able to just set it real quick and take it off again. So that's what that does. Basically does the job of this, only just does it a little bit quicker. I had one absolutely identical to this one before, and I actually thought it was shop made when I first looked at it, and then realized that no, it's mass produced because it's stamped USA. No manufacturer's name, just stamped USA. It's actually a pretty decent one. The other ones I've had, these knobs are plastic, which is the other reason why I actually thought this was shop made, because it looked like somebody took a little bit more care in the construction of this one. So I kept one of these for myself. I think I kept the one just like this, and I sold the other ones. So now I get another one available for sale. This is a stop for your vice jaw. So this will sit like on the Kurt vices. Just loosen this up, okay, and this will clamp on your top edge of your vice jaw, so you can put a part right up against it, do your operation, take that part out, put another one, and put it right in the same exact position. So if you're doing multiple operation, if you're doing redundant operations on multiple pieces, that's a handy little thing to have. It doesn't have a lot of value, and I'm not sure if I have one of these or not. I think I have one of these that might be, you know, a mass-produced version. This looks like it might be a homemade. What's nice about the one that I do have is you don't need an Allen wrench to tighten it. In other words, this is my one that I keep. This is a, I think this might be an SPI. Oh, it's not branded. Somebody took the job to, you know, the extra time to actually coat it. It's got these plastic thumb wheels, which I know they're plastic, but they are easy to grab, easy to tighten. It's got these pins, you know, so it's a nice little handy thing to have. That was just a quick demonstration to show you how these work. Clamp them on the top lip here of your vice jaw, and then you get a nice stop right here. So if I had something that I wanted to have in that position every single time, say I have a piece of stock, I could stick it in there, drill a hole, do my operation, whatever, pop it out, stick the next one in, it's going to be in the same position. So that's the idea behind them. So what's really neat about this one is that the thumb screws are on the top. They're easy to get at, and there's actually a design here. There's pins of some type. Must be some sort of a cam action going on there, or wedging action. I'm going to assume that the bottoms of these are probably beveled. No, they're not. They are going in at an angle. So that's definitely a superior design to the homemade one here. And we got a couple of fishtails, as they call them. These are threading gauges. This one is a Brown Sharpe. Looks like a 599-650-1. I believe this is a 60 degree. And this one is a Starrett. This one on the back here, it says double depth of American National thread. This is also 60 degree. This is a Starrett C391. This is handy for several operations. Checking the grind on threading tool if you're grinding your own high-speed threading tool. Also, you can hold this up against the piece that you're going to thread on in the lathe, and then use this to align the threading tool. So, and there are probably some other uses for this that aren't coming to mind right now, or that I'm just not aware of. But these are handy to have, but you really only need one. So I guess I need to maybe sell some of these, huh? There's all of them all laid out. They're all 60 degree. So these top three right here are all Starretts. This is the one I just got. This is a C391, and then it looks like these are all just 391s. So this has got a satin chrome finish on it. So I'm wondering if that's what the C designates. Otherwise, I think it's identical. That's easier to read. I like that one. So these two older Starretts, I guess. Guess we'll get rid of those. Here's two Craftsman ones that are in really good shape and easy to read. These are also satin chrome. You know, because of the way that they're easier to read, these are actually nicer than these, but I bet you the Starretts will sell first. The Brown Sharpe is nice. Here's another Craftsman. This one just has a machinery company's name on it from Rhode Island with their phone number, so it's almost as if like they made these and gave them out as premiums, you know, like you know, maybe they supplied tooling to companies and they would just give you one of these with your order. This one appears like it might actually be a homemade one. That's actually got 3 sizes on it, huh? That's interesting. And this is a general tool. 776 or 778, I can't quite see. That's actually in decent shape. That's the one that was in the plastic. I think this is brand new, unused. So I think I'll keep this satin chrome Starrett one, and I think I'll keep this homemade one because it's larger and thicker, and it's just a little easier for me to grab with my fingers. And it's got the 3 jaw sizes, the 3 profile sizes on it, as opposed to just the 2 like a lot of these. Anyways,